Why Walmart, the biggest supermarket chain in America, failed in Europe and should it come back? Maybe? I don't know. Let's see why it failed.
In 1997, Walmart opened 21 stores in Germany. With plans to expand and take over Europe, that does sound possible.
I mean, yeah, it does sound possible. It's like huge. It has like massive variety of things. I believe the equivalent of Walmart in UK is Asda. So, and Asda is great. I've been to Asda. Asda was fantastic.
Right? Just 9 years later, they were gone. Having lost around
Bro,
$1 billion.
How much? That is actually like insane. Like you invest this much money and then it's like, nah, we are ditching it. No, not happening.
How can one of the world's largest companies, a brand that has thrived in 15 other countries, fail so badly and so quickly in Europe?
Higher.
To understand why this went so wrong, you first need to understand how Walmart's business model really works.
I mean, doesn't it just like, you know, have everything inside of it? Is it like that's the basic idea for Walmart? There's basically everything inside of it, right?
The entire thing is built around their incredibly low prices.
Oh.
I'm sure some would dispute that nowadays. Walmart usually goes into a market, undercuts their competition, and customers flock to them. It sounds pretty simple. And
I mean, yeah, it does sound pretty simple. It's like, okay, you have €2 beer. I'm gonna sell you the beer for €1.50. How's about that? How about that? And then the competition has to go down, and they make less profit, and well, people will be like accustomed to Walmart, and they will go to Walmart pretty much.
Most places, it kind of is. They've done this exact thing across Asia, Latin America, of course, America, and
there's Walmart in Japan.
Exact thing across Asia.
Okay, I can understand. Like, I mean, UK does Asda basically. Germany, they are no longer in Germany. Or maybe they have Asda in Germany. In China, I never knew they had that. I knew they had that in South Korea or Japan. I mean, I could imagine they had them having like Walmarts in Canada and like, you know, Mexico and most of like America basically.
Asia, Latin America, of course America, and seen massive success.
Yeah.
In each of those cases, Walmart offered the local community unbeatable prices, making it difficult.
By the way, for Americans watching this, is like Walmart like super expensive nowadays? Is it like hugely expensive? Do you have like ever stores that are like much better when it comes to like, you know, buying stuff at than Walmart nowadays or something like that, you know? Tell me in the comments, honestly, I'm interested.
For any other company to compete, and therefore they won. But things differ quite a lot when it comes to Europe. For a start, Germany is the largest retail market in all of Europe. And because of this, it's almost always where most companies begin when they plan on expanding into Europe. But just because it's the largest, that doesn't mean
I love that Poland is on there. A big heart, Poland, you know? We're doing stuff.
It's the easiest to crack. Not at all. At the time of Walmart's expansion into Europe, Germany already had two huge companies doing the
Aldi and Lidl
thing as Walmart and kind of doing it.
Honestly, the biggest thing about Aldi is the fact that they have like two of them. And I feel like the Aldi that you have like in UK is much better than the Aldi you have like in Poland. At least that's my opinion. And like in Germany you have, well, two types of Aldi.
Better. Aldi and Lidl both had decades of experience understanding exactly what German customers wanted, and most importantly, how they wanted to be sold to. Plus, Aldi specifically had already expanded into America too. This wasn't some scrappy local store that Walmart could just outspend. It was a global business already competing.
Oh, I never knew they have like that many Aldis in like those regions of America. Like, I thought it would be like all blue basically. And then you realize, oh, actually, there's actually more Aldis in, like, you know, in New York, basically, and Pennsylvania, you know?
With Walmart outside of America. So when Walmart arrived in Germany, their competitive advantage was already taken. The low price positioning that they'd used to win everywhere else wasn't novel or really exciting to anyone. To get its
I
foot
mean,
in
yeah.
the door of Germany, Walmart bought an existing German chain called Wortkauf with 21 stores. This was a smart
Okay.
move.
I mean, yeah, it is very smart to like buy out a store chain basically, and expand upon that. That's actually a pretty brilliant idea, unless you fail.
With existing infrastructure, an established supply chain, and seemed like a legitimate shortcut into the market.
I feel like watching a historic documentary right now when seeing like all of those images with like the shit cam basically.
However, just buying those stores didn't give customers a reason to choose Walmart over Aldi or Lidl. That was the first problem they needed to solve. And going into 1997, they didn't really have an answer.
Okay.
Walmart was already off to a bad start. Because of the direct competition,
Discounters weighing for domination. Shares of respondents from selected countries saying they regularly shopped at Aldi. No, yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that Aldi is like this high in Poland. I thought it wouldn't be. Like, I understand Lidl. Lidl is like basically the second biggest in Poland, and the first biggest is probably like Biedronka. So yeah, the Ladybug, Ladybug shop.
In order to make it work, Walmart needed something to offer Germany.
Obviously, like the fact that in UK Aldi is actually like bigger than Lidl is not surprising to me, because Lidl has very specific range of products, and Aldi just has like a decent variety, pretty much. Like all the essentials are like at Aldi, pretty much. The same goes for Lidl, but I feel like Lidl is very much more German-centric products. I would say like you do tend to find more products with like German labels on them and stuff like that, and Aldi is like very generic in my opinion. That's that.
When customers that Aldi and Lidl couldn't provide or replicate, their answer was the American shopping experience. Walmart's director at the time,
we're gonna make it big and huge and have one of those freaking things inside. That's the American shopping experience, right? Did I get it correct?
the person responsible for understanding and winning over German customers couldn't speak a word of German, nor had he visited very frequently, making him unable to communicate with their customers directly, and I would say the strategy going forward reflected that quite well. The plan was to import everything that worked in America over to Germany.
Okay.
They had greeters standing at the entrance to welcome customers in. Members of staff were required to smile at shoppers after bagging their items. They even had mandatory group Walmart chants every day.
What is this? What is this?
Maybe in America, customers expect a certain warmth from their retail staff. In Germany, the same behavior comes off completely.
In Germany, you expect to go in, get what you want, go out, and go home. And that's pretty much like, I feel like this is like for most of Europe kind of a deal with shopping. Like you don't give a damn about like the purse, the cashier. You're annoyed at the freaking line basically, and you actually prefer to do the self checkout. I didn't need anybody to bag your groceries. You can do that yourself.
Differently. I think it's fair to say in Europe.
Actually, like that would be like the fact that you have people actually bagging your groceries in America is actually insane. Like, bro, do you really need a guy to like pack your groceries? Can't you just have a machine do that? Or like, can't you do it yourself?
As a whole, customers don't really want to be spoken to while they're shopping. If a stranger smiles at you unprompted at a checkout, it might not come across as friendly as it does in America. German shoppers at Walmart just felt...
Oh, you're smiling at me? Ah, suspicious, mate. Suspicious. Just like, you're gonna be stealing money from me or something.
A bit uncomfortable. The assumption broadly is that if someone you don't know is being unusually warm to you, they probably want something from you. The greeters at the entrance weren't making customers feel welcome, they were making them feel like they were being sold to. The morning chanting was obviously even worse. Workers just found it embarrassing, of course. On top
yeah, obviously, like... Bro, this is like, like they're paying the minimum wage and they tell you need to chant, like in front of all those people. Like you would be embarrassed, you would be annoyed, you would be pissed off. I would be pissed off. I would be quitting the next day.
That, the ethics code Walmart brought over from America required employees to report colleagues for misconduct and prohibited romantic.
Yes, from America. Mate, so starting now, we have this new contract. You have to be a dickhead to your colleagues, okay? Just like in America. Okay? Great.
Relationships between co-workers. If we jump forward a little bit, a German court actually struck part of that down in 2005.
Okay.
The damage to the staff's morale had been building for years before that. By the time Walmart started looking for ways to turn things around, the stores were already losing in every way.
I mean, yeah.
Prices weren't low enough to beat Aldi or Lidl.
I mean, okay, what do we have here? Banana expensive, strawberries to like €10 cheaper, $10 cheaper. I guess it's dollars, not euro. What do we have here? Red grapes expensive, Gala apple 20. That's just 1 cent. There's what? Nothing, bunch of nothing basically. I don't see like any big changes. Like pork chop is like much expensive, more expensive than Lidl.
At all. And their staff were unhappy performing rituals to a management team that couldn't even speak their language. The business was clearly struggling, and they'd barely been open 3 years. So Walmart needed to pivot. If the culture wasn't working, they would just make the prices impossible to ignore and undercut everyone. They began cutting prices aggressively, selling products below cost in some cases, with the sole intention of pulling customers away from...
Okay, so I don't think becoming a loss leader is a good idea when you're like in retail business. Like I understand like because like Twitch is a loss leader for, you know, Amazon basically. YouTube is a loss leader for well, used to be for Google. So having like a Walmart EU basically, let's say, is a different segment of Walmart, being a loss leader for Walmart America is like not a good idea in my opinion, because it's like like why? Like if you understand that it simply doesn't work, you should just like quit straight away. You know, I feel like that's the basic idea when it comes to like, you know, smart business. Like you either you do that or you downsize, or you maybe try to import American products that are actually like viable for Europe. You know, because some of them are viable for Europe, I believe. I hope. You know.
Aldi and Lidl, forcing them into a price war. But you see, German law prohibits selling below cost, specifically to drive competitors out of business.
Wait, so did they get sued? Bro, if they got sued, that would be massive.
Because a company like Walmart with deep enough pockets can sustain these losses for long enough to just destroy all of their rivals. And German law treats that as anti-competitive. Walmart was going to use their scale to undercut until the competition failed. And the German High Court stopped them pretty much straight away, ordering them to reset their prices. And just like that, they were back to square one with basically nothing left. Their prices were no lower.
So they just failed. GG, you know. What do we have here? I like this list here. Massive saving by volume. I wish Costco came to Europe. Costco in Europe would work out, by the way. I think Costco in Europe would work out. Like, compared to Walmart, Costco has many other benefits than, you know, Walmart, I believe.
Than Aldi and Lidl, Walmart stores were less familiar than the chains that had been there for decades, and they'd spent years making shoppers feel uncomfortable.
Bro, Tesco, I wish Tesco could come back to, like, you know, Poland. Tesco was great. I love Tesco.
At this point, there was really no reason to choose Walmart over a store like Aldi or Lidl. It feels like Walmart went into this with no research whatsoever and made every possible mistake as a result of their poor planning. Their response to all of this was to expand even further.
So instead of like quitting, you just go all in. That's like, bro, that is like this worst idea ever in my opinion. Like going all into this, bro. Like it's not worth it. You could have just like swapped out and just said, maybe let's try France, maybe let's try Italy, maybe let's try Spain. You know, I bet that Walmart would probably work out much better in anywhere else than Germany. Why? Because German people don't really, you know, Like, if you put an American and a German next to each other, you'll see that Americans is probably like a very happy, jolly guy, you know, and a German, oh, he's very stoic, very poker face, you know, very pretty cold, you know. Like I don't think Germans, especially, are like, you know, the warmest people, especially the men. And yeah, I have a couple of German friends, and honestly, the only thing that they are good at is satire, you know. They're very satirical people, I would say. So yeah.
They announced plans to grow to 85 stores across Germany, which meant opening up 50 new Walmarts.
No. I can already see how this ended up being like such a massive loss for them, you know? Just like, bro. Okay, can someone like explain to me why did they even figure this out? Like, why did they think expanding even more and like maybe getting brand recognition, maybe, or something like that would work out? Like, Walmart is huge. Having huge Walmarts in Germany probably wouldn't work out because like that is expensive to have a huge store, you know? Blah 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 blah. Basically.
The thought process, presumably, was that pure scale would eventually fix what their strategy.
So brand recognition and scale. Wow. Big brains. Like, this is what, 1997 or 2000 something, maybe? Yeah. We had very smart people back then, I guess. Big brains. How to lose money, you know?
Couldn't. During this time, they cycled through several new directors, trying to find someone who could change things. But each year that went by, these German stores were pulling more money out of Walmart's global results.
Yeah.
And that was without benefiting them in the slightest. Everything they'd done to date had either failed outright or been blocked by the government. And their plans to open up 50 stores quickly ran into problems. And eventually, out of
construction of another 50 stores within the next 3 years. In its effort, sponsors of its German operation preventing Walmart from exercising power in its effort to expand the game for Walmart has by German zoning. Okay.
All 50 planned stores, only 2 actually opened, which is a terrible rate. So eventually, in 2006, they sold the entire operation to a German company called Metro, just 9 years after Walmart expanded into Germany.
Okay, so what happened to Metro? Like, do they have those stores? Are those stores still existing? Like, okay, any Germans, do you know what happened to those stores? Do you go there, you know?
Loss across those 9 years came to around $1 billion. However, Germany isn't the only place that pushes back when companies attempt to bring their product over and just assume that it will work without any research or demand.
Okay.
Tesla did the exact same thing with the Cybertruck, and now there's an entire continent that won't let them on their roads.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This also happened with the Cybertruck. That is actually correct. Why is it always Americans trying to bring stuff to Europe and then they fail because they cannot like comprehend that we have like a bunch of stupid laws? Like, bro, you need to lobby. You need to lobby more if you want them laws to change.
The Cybertruck failed European safety standards in ways that go so much deeper than most people realize. Currently, it's banned across the entirety of Europe. Click here to...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Honestly, I'm surprised that the Cybertruck is not banned in UK. Wait, is it actually not banned in UK, or is it banned in UK? I'm not sure anymore. I need to check. Oh, there's actually a video about all that. Okay, like that. That's actually fun. That's actually fun. That was such a good video. This guy has such a small channel, bro. I'm gonna subscribe. He's actually making decent content. I'm gonna like. Yeah, if you enjoyed my video, you can also leave me a like and a comment down below, and you can subscribe. And honestly, check this guy's video out. This video was great. Like you can you've seen it with me yapping. You can watch it yourself and see it for yourself and give your own get your own ideas, give your own opinions about the video. Maybe here, maybe there, whatever. I would probably prefer for you to give your opinions over there because that's his video, not mine. I'm just reacting. But yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.